Everyone thought Xabi Alonso was the next great mastermind, an unbeaten season, a historic run, a coach the world couldn't stop praising. But here's the question no one dared to ask. Did Real Madrid sign a miracle, or did they sign a myth? Because the closer you look at Leverkusen's perfect season, the more you realize something shocking. What made Alonso unstoppable in Germany is exactly what made him collapse in Madrid. In this documentary, we'll uncover why Leverkusen's miracle couldn't be replicated in Madrid, what truly powered their dramatic late-game heroics, how tactical confusion turned into frustration, and frustration into internal division inside Real Madrid's dressing room, and why both Alonso and the club realized, far too late, that they had chosen the wrong moment to come together. This isn't just the story of a coach who succeeded or a giant that stumbled. It's the story of two worlds that were never meant to collide. When Xabi Alonso led Leverkusen to an unbeaten Bundesliga title, the world saw the rise of a new managerial star. A young coach with fresh ideas, a hungry squad, and a season that looked like pure tactical brilliance. Real Madrid saw more than success. They saw their future. But once he arrived, a harsh truth became clear. The world Alonso came from and the world of Real Madrid were never meant to fit together. One of the biggest reasons Leverkusen stayed unbeaten wasn't domination from minute one. It was their extraordinary survival instinct in the final moments of games. Across the season, they scored 17 goals in stoppage time and 34 goals after the 85th minute, with more than 20 matches decided or rescued in those dying moments. This wasn't just luck, nor pure brilliance. It was a combination of youthful hunger, fearlessness, constant late pressure, and moments of fortune that seasons like this depend on. Those goals didn't decorate the season, they saved it. Without them, the unbeaten run collapses. Without them, Bayern re-enters the race. Without them, Leverkusen become a great story, not a historic one. But here lies the real point. This formula works only in a club with no expectations, no weight, and no global microscope. It cannot be replicated inside Real Madrid. If you're enjoying this deep dive, a like and a subscribe would mean a lot. Now let's continue. Leverkusen's magic came from a perfect mixture of youth, hunger, and freedom. In a league where Bayern Munich were collapsing under Tuchel, where pressure was nearly non-existent. Bayern were in their worst state in over a decade, losing identity, losing control of the dressing room, and losing results. Even without Leverkusen, Bayern still wouldn't have won the league that season. Meanwhile, Alonso's players in Germany weren't protecting egos, they were fighting for careers. They weren't stars, they were prospects. They didn't question systems, they trusted them blindly. It was the perfect storm. But storms don't repeat themselves in Madrid. Real Madrid is the opposite universe. Here, superstars don't run to impress you. They expect roles tailored to their strengths. They expect the system to orbit around them. And sitting one star triggers ripples that shake the entire dressing room. Madrid's squad is filled with massive personalities, internal alliances, egos, influence, and voices stronger than many coaches. At Leverkusen, Alonso coached players who needed him. At Madrid, he coached players who challenged him. And that was a world he had never navigated before. But the biggest warning sign wasn't a loss or a crisis. It was confusion. Players began asking each other, what exactly are we doing? Are we a possession team? A pressing team? A counter-attacking team? Why does our identity change every week? Why does the lineup shift constantly? Alonso wanted flexibility, but Real Madrid don't operate on flexibility. They operate on identity. One week they looked like a pressing team, the next like a possession team, the next like nothing at all. And once a superstar stops understanding the plan, he stops believing in it. That was the moment Alonso lost the dressing room. Not because players disliked him, but because they no longer understood him. In truth, both sides made the same mistake. Real Madrid were blinded by the narrative, the unbeaten run, the sensational headlines, the myth of a young genius. They needed a heavyweight coach, someone with aura, authority, and emotional intelligence. A Klopp, a Zidane. Not a young coach still discovering his own identity. And Alonso rushed, too. He saw the badge, the nostalgia, the fairy tale of returning as a hero. But he didn't see the reality. Madrid is the least forgiving job in world football. One wrong smile becomes a headline. One unhappy star becomes a crisis. One tactical misstep becomes a storm. He wasn't ready. Not tactically, not emotionally, not politically. If Alonso, for example, had chosen Manchester United, a club desperate for direction, patient with managers, and grateful for any progress, he might have become a hero, a rebuilder, a legend. If Madrid had waited, they could have secured Klopp, the master of man management, the unifier, the leader who turns dressing rooms into families. Or Zidane, the quiet emperor, the man whose presence alone controls egos without speaking. Instead, both sides gambled, and both sides lost. Xabi Alonso will still become a top manager. His intelligence is real. His composure is real. His potential is undeniable. But great managers understand this truth. You must know your environment as well as your tactics. In Leverkusen, he was a free thinker. In Madrid, he became a target. In Leverkusen, players fought for him. In Madrid, players questioned him. In Leverkusen, late goals were miracles. In Madrid, miracles aren't enough. Alonso just needed that extra one step between the two clubs. And history will remember this chapter as a reminder. A storm that works in one world may vanish in another. And Real Madrid is not a place where storms are allowed to form. Thank you for watching. A like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated, and see you next time.